In a Minecraft social experiment, I have put 200 players on a massive ship. 20 of those players have been selected to be the crew. They will be led by one captain who needs to lead everyone aboard. Will the ship arrive to its planned destination, or will it sink into the depths of the ocean? Also, just like in real life, if you die, you are dead forever. Everything this video has chained up to create an insane story that, trust me, you don't want to miss. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Nations. Just before we start, if you want to be in videos like this one, make sure to subscribe and join the Nations Discord. Alright, everyone should be on the ship. Let me present to you the SS Princess Celestia, with at its board Captain Nettie 1010 and her first mate, the Fish A2 and their crew. This is the ship that will be transporting everyone during this cruise.
I can do a wheelie if you want. You want to see a wheelie?
Wait, you want to do a what with the ship?
Yeah, I'm starting to think this might be the Titanic, if I'm correct.
No.
Okay, so we're not gonna like sink and like, you know.
No. How has your trip been so far? Do you like the ship?
It's been
violent.
Incredible. 10 out of 10.
Violent? What do you mean violent?
No, what do you mean? What do you mean violent? What do you mean violent? No, that's not
What have you guys been doing?
Nothing.
Everyone seems to be doing their own thing on the ship. Some enjoying the sun and others being a bit sus. That player called Erku snuck into the kitchen of the ship and stole a knife. Not really sure what he's planning to do with that, but seems a bit worrying. But to be honest, I was way too distracted by this piano performance to care.
I'm playing a little tune called Wonderwall.
I don't know how you're making those noises with a piano.
Alright, maybe everyone was distracted by this sus performance, but the crew wasn't joking around. They quickly noticed that the knife was missing, and the prime suspect was indeed Erku.
Gonkers, we have an emergency situation.
On it, where is?
There's someone who's stolen a knife from the kitchen, and suspect number one is a man named Erku. We can deal with this, Nettie. Get back to your work. It's okay. So it's okay. We'll be nice. We'll be nice. I promise.
Okay.
I promise. And well, I'm not gonna lie, but we're missing a certain item from one of our kitchens.
I don't know about that.
Don't know about that.
No.
That's okay. Gonkers, let's take them somewhere I feel would be more appropriate.
If you could be so kind to follow me.
You have a
Just
weapon in
wanna
your
talk.
hand. You have a weapon in
Just
your
want to
hand.
talk. We just want to talk.
Sorry,
We
no
just
Why
want
you
to
need a
talk.
weapon? Why you need a weapon?
We need to do an examination on you.
Where are they taking him?
Right there.
Yeah, then stay there.
Now go on.
There we go.
Bro,
There we go.
There we go.
what?
This is gonna be very straightforward. If you do not give us the knife that you've stolen, we'll keep you here until you're no longer a person.
I don't have a knife.
We know that you do.
Oh, his friend snuck in. Is he gonna save him? Oh, he's out! He's out! Uh-oh, they're gonna get spotted. Seems like not everything was going too well on that ship. Especially that everything that just happened was kept a secret from the captain. The crew knew that the captain was against any kind of violence and that they would be in trouble for doing what they just did. But the first mate Fish believed that it was necessary to keep order aboard. But even with those efforts, a passenger had just been reported dead. After investigation, the murderer was found and put behind bars in the boiler room.
We'll have to imprison you temporarily until we can have a better grasp of the situation.
Boy, you know who my dad is?
Another passenger called Suit was also a victim of abuse of power and got his eyes sliced by crew members for being in a restricted area.
What's your eyes?
What do you mean close my eyes?
What's your eyes? I'm sorry.
Go on.
Ow!
While all of this was happening, this is what most passengers were doing.
Let him cook.
Yep, they couldn't care less. After all those incidents, the captain ordered for the security to be more tight on board. She was also really upset by how much violence the crew was exerting on the passengers and believed that things could be dealt in a better way.
About killing, being not very nice, hitting a lot.
What do they mean? They're the ones hitting people. They've been hitting us.
Hitting us.
Yeah. We are crew. If they're attacking us, that's their problem.
I don't think we're paid enough for this.
After this meeting, the crew was ordered to make sure everyone was in their room for the night, and everyone went to sleep. On the start of this new day, the captain decided to go around the ship to check on the passengers and try to calm everyone down after what had happened yesterday. But despite her effort to calm everyone down on the ship and limit the violence, her first mate Fish didn't have the same vision.
You should look after people.
I am
careful.
looking after people.
Don't
I am looking
kill
after
people.
our group. I'm not killing people. If they attack us, they attack us, and we only defend ourselves. Do you not care for your crew?
What should I do?
Be harder
tell
on
me.
people. Do checks.
No.
Make sure, examine
That's your
every single room.
privacy. I cannot do that. I cannot. This
Then
is
you are a
impossible.
weak captain.
I am not a weak captain.
Maybe Fish was being a bit too harsh, but he was right to be worried. The ship is just on its second day of its journey that some anti-crew groups were starting to form because of how violent the crew was. Notably, one of those groups was led by Suit, the man who got blinded by the crew, and they were not happy, to the point that they were planning to start a riot later on. But the crew's violence was far from being the only illegal action happening on the ship. Apparently, word got out that some sugar was in circulation on the ship, and people were trying to figure out how to get their hands on it.
Sheep.
Okay, what's going on?
My friend.
Where'd you get that sugar from, dude?
Where'd I get that sugar? I
Where'd you
don't
get the sugar
think
from?
that you should really be concerned about that.
We
No,
should be.
we are very concerned about that.
Okay, we can do
Are we
this
on the
one
same
way or we
team?
can do this the other way.
It was unknown to most passengers who was behind that operation, but I had my little idea.
I think this will solve any problems you have on the ship.
Oh yes, this is perfect.
It looks like the crew is doing a whole lot more than violence on this ship behind the back of the captain. In fact, something that no one other than the captain and the first mate knew about is that the ship was transporting a huge amount of gold to be delivered at the destination. And Fish kinda had his eye on this gold. Wait, what's all that noise? Oh, it seems like a lot of passengers have grouped up at the front of the ship.
Fish, understand as I may, the biggest threat to this ship is not the passengers. The biggest threat to this ship that needs to be dealt with is the crew.
Hey,
They are protesting against the violence of the crew.
All I want to say is, it's a truth. I got lost. And for that, Gunkus gave one of his crewmates a knife and gouged out my eyes. Does anyone here think, apart from the crew, think that is a just punishment?
you were in the wrong place. Did you not read the sign?
I can't say.
Did you not read the sign? That is your punishment. If you don't read properly, then you have need for no eyes. Do you understand that? That's it. That's it. There's no need to speak here. If you do not leave, we will begin executing everyone. Disperse. Disperse.
Despite the efforts of the captain at trying to hear the passengers, Fish was starting to get fed up with the situation and ordered the security guards to disperse the crowd. Things are starting to get out of hand on the ship. Passengers are starting to lose faith in the crew after seeing what they did to Suit, but for starting this riot, the crew decided to put him behind bars. Wait, did they just put a blind man in a cell with a murderer? The rest of the passengers were worried, but some of them decided to just embrace the trip instead of focusing on bad things that were happening aboard. And thus is born the Floaties Federation, a group of players who apparently just wanted to train their muscles and chill in the pool. I don't know, don't ask me questions, I'm as confused as you are. But just as the sun started to set and everything started to calm down, Fish invited the captain to take a drink at the back of the ship.
Nettie, you've been captaining this ship for a while now, and you're excellent, and perhaps you're a good person, and that's great for the passengers. But the crew? We don't want good people. There's a lot about this ship you don't know, and a lot you'll never know, because if you found out, you'd just slow us down.
It was Fish's plan all along with most of the crew to try to take control over the ship, and Nettie was starting to cause a problem to his plan. Now, he'll be nominated as captain and change the trajectory of the ship to a new planned location to be able to steal the gold aboard by blaming that change on the sudden death of the captain.
Hello everybody, I come to you guys with a tragedy. It is this bad that we are literally turning the ship around and heading back to port because Well, as you can tell, our captain is no longer with us.
Just before we go on with day 3, I wanted to tell you about my public nation server Centauria. If you like the type of videos I make and want to try something like it easily, this is the place for you. There, you can create nations, go to war, do politics, roleplay, and a lot more. If you want to try it out, the IP is on screen and in the description. Now, let's get back to it.
We're not turning back home. I'm not going to tell you where we're going, but I'm going to tell you this. You stick by our sides, you will be rich beyond your dreams could imagine if you stick with the crew. If you don't, Mr. Suit and Mr. Execute, can you please step forward to the gates?
Things are getting crazier and crazier on the ship. Since Fish became the new captain, everything changed on board. Anyone, and I'm saying anyone, that started causing problems to the crew was taken care of on the spot. Those 2 players were found in restricted areas and put behind bars. The crew decided to give them both a knife and let them fight? This is messed up. Also, security was constantly patrolling the ship to find anyone that could be a threat and ended up by putting behind bars all the friends of the 2 passengers that got executed. But they forgot one. This player called NickSea was a good friend of Suit and wanted to take revenge for his fallen friend, and he had a plan. And just like him, not everyone on the ship was just gonna let the crew step on them. This group of friends decided to wait for one of the crew members to be isolated and just murder him. But the crew instantly noticed and started chasing them, but they managed to hide inside that lifeboat and lock themselves inside. The captain told them that if they wouldn't get out, they would drop the boat. And they did! Just like that, Godzilla and his friend were now left in the ocean alone.
Well, here's the thing. I think the 3 of them will be fine.
Yeah, those will be fine.
Or not!
The sun was starting to set, and the crew sent everyone to bed, but one person wasn't planning to go to sleep tonight. Day 4. A passenger sabotaged the boilers of the ship, and this resulted in the ship crashing on an island. Most passengers were in bad shape, but they still were trying to figure out how to survive, and the first thing they did is try to take the ship apart for some resources. The crew instantly ran away and hid into the forest, by fear that the passengers would try to take revenge for what they did on the ship. In the darkest of times, we can see the Death Creeper playing music.
Ray, I want to kill Fish.
It also seems like that passengers that the crew left on the lifeboat arrived on the island as well, but on the wrong side, quite far from where the ship crashed. He seems to be alone. What happened to his friend? He started building a little camp when I went to check on him, and... Uh-oh. It seems like the passengers are not the only people on this island. There is some kind of tribe that lived here. Wait, are they taking Godzilla with them? They arrived to their camp? Did they just cook him on the campfire? What kind of tribe is that? It looks like this tribe has been here for a long time. They have quite a big camp, and they seem to be led by that player called Shoof123. It also looks like that player called Arrow fled the camp when he saw what his friend did to Godzilla. Interesting.
Yo, you gotta wait,
Get away from me!
Eat Ray!
Get away from me!
I want to eat the fox!
Meanwhile, the crew were having a memorial for their captain that they just lost. From what I learned, Fish didn't tell all of them that he was the one that killed her. Anyways, the rest of the passengers all had built little camps by now, and all went to sleep. It's a new day on the island! Everyone seems to be more paranoid. The crew built walls around their camps, all the passengers had built settlements by now, and even the tribe started building traps all around after realizing that there is some newcomers on their island. Also, remember that group that was chilling in the pool on the ship? They were still together and built a little base over here on this island. Of course, they had to include some machines to keep training their muscles. But the interesting part is that tribe member called Arrow that fled yesterday took refuge at their base, and even though they didn't know him, they welcomed him with open arms. The tribe them were not too fan of that and wanted to find Arrow back, so their leader and a couple of them went on a mission to try to find him back, but they ended up by going at the wrong camp and kidnapped someone? Oh, no, dude, no!
Hey, what's going on?
They're taking goats!
You're going to stay attached for a while.
Chief.
So I suggest you find your fun somewhere else.
My fun somewhere else?
What is this machine? What are they doing to him? The tribe were not the only ones up to some devious activities. The player that blew up the ship, Nick, was still alive somehow, and he was not done with taking revenge over the crew. He knew that Fish had some feelings for a player called Musrod, so he killed them. But he was just getting started. His plan was to take out Fish in a trap, and that was just about to happen. Fish wanted to go check on the passengers and see what they were up to secretly, but Nick was hiding and waiting for him in the forest. The captain was dead. The crew didn't know what to do, and were kinda lost. After all, Fish was the one to guide all of them. But one of them was not ready to give up yet. A crew member called Sor knew that the tribe on the island had an old radio that he could use to call for help and get everyone home. Him and Gonkas, despite the warning of the rest of the crew, decided to go talk with the rest of the passengers and make it right.
The radio washed up on their shore and they're keeping it, yeah? But I care for every single one of you. I don't want any of you to die. I'm not going to force any of you to fight, and none of you need to trust me. But if they decide to attack us, we have no chance at all of survival. The only way that we are going to get off this island alive is if the crew and every single passenger put everything behind us and we need to move on. I want to get everyone home, and that is my responsibility as your captain.
Even though it was hard, even if he was scared, Sor managed to convince the passengers to unite, all together, and try to leave this island, all alive. Day 6. The now unified passengers were trying to form a plan on how to recover the radio from the tribe camp. Most of the passengers wanted to launch an attack to take revenge on the passengers that have been murdered by the tribe, and after killing them, taking the radio. But Sor was aware of the weapons that the tribe had, and knew it was a suicide mission to just attack them. He was also aware that the tribe was trying to find Arrow, the tribe member that lived with the floaties. He proposed to everyone to make a trade with the tribe, giving them Arrow for the radio. But no one was agreeing with that. They didn't want to give Arrow and just leave the tribe unpunished for what they did to their friends. After arguing for a long time, Arrow himself stood up and advised everyone to turn him in.
So, as you know, I'm wanted by the tribe for befriending someone who wasn't a tribe member. I just wanted to make a friend who would listen to me, who would help me through my troubles, and yeah, he was killed. They took him back and slaughtered him and ate him. If we could maybe try to work out an arrangement, I'm willing to, if it keeps the rest of my friends here safe, I'm willing to take my life.
Arrow didn't want anyone to get hurt and accepted his fate. With the stress at its peak, the passengers marched to the camp of the tribe and were ready to attack in case anything went wrong. Sor was gonna be the one to enter the camp alone with Arrow to do the trade, and the tension was at its peak.
Taki and Arrow, you come inside the camp. Everyone stay out.
Passengers, stay back. Don't worry.
I'm cattle to these people.
Leave our island, you barbarians. You came into here and broke the nature, disturbed the peace.
Wait.
All this for a piece of metal? I'm gonna cook you. Come here. Come here. You can have the radio. It's yours.
Okay.
Leave as fast as you can now. Oh, leave.
Hey.
Son of a...
The trade was successful. Everyone ran back to the base of the floaties and made the call with the radio.
Mayday, mayday, mayday. This is Sora from the SS Princess Celestia. The ship has crashed. We are on an island of the survivors. I would like to request immediate support.
Alright, that's everything for Season 5. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. If you want to watch more videos like this one, there's a playlist on screen with videos that are just like this one. Anyways, it was Ray. See you next time.
Hello?